Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
So we'll see how things play out. But coming up next here on Ghana Tonight, Attorney General, Minister of Justice offers legal advice on Professor Frimpong Boateng's Galamsey report, describing the report in terms that can really be described as, to many as a surprise. We'll get into the details of that advice and then also speak to some experts on this matter. And the Attorney General, Godfrey Yeboah-Dame, says that there is no evidence in the Professor Frimpong Boateng Galamsey report to form the basis for the prosecution of any of the named government officials. There are quite a number of government officials who were named in this 36-page report, and other persons who are alleged to be stifling the fight against illegal mining. Let me give you excerpts of this report, and that's the AG's opinion on Professor Frimpong Boateng's 36-page report. Take a look at this. This is the AG's opinion on this. First off, he states that after a careful study of the report, the various documents and pen drives submitted to the police, we do not find any evidence in support of the allegations made against the persons cited in the report, with the exception of Seth Mante, John Ofori Atta, and Eko Ewusi. One of them mentioned there is a journalist, right? These three exceptions. The Attorney General continues that it is recorded that several attempts by the police to obtain further information from Professor Frimpong Boateng to substantiate the allegations made in the report and to assist them to conduct further investigation proved futile. That's what the AG says, that the attempt to obtain information from Professor Frimpong Boateng proved futile. Now, we'll recall an interview that I had with him, and I asked him this specific question. So you stay with us. He says the professor refused to provide any further information to the police. He also declined to give a written statement, claiming his report is an embodiment of his statement and all the information he has on the allegations. Investigations by the police have not revealed any evidence in support of the allegations. And it continues that the allegations are therefore bare and do not provide a basis for any criminal charge against the persons cited in the report, except the three names that I mentioned in the first slide. The Attorney General continues that in the absence of any evidence on the docket in support of any of the allegations of illegal mining activities, we are unable to recommend the prosecution of any of the persons cited in the report. Now, here are some of the names of the persons were cited in the report. We'll put that on the screen shortly. And specific, there's the likes of Lord Cormey and others. We'll pull that for you. But Professor Frimpong Boateng, when I sat with him a few months ago on this report, I asked him that specific question about the commitment to fight illegal mining and whether this report, if he believes, is going to be taken seriously. Remember, it's been on whichever office he submitted it to the office of the president for 2 years. And eventually, you recall that the presidency described the report as mere hearsay. And then the Attorney General's opinion now says, you know what? There's not enough basis to prosecute any of the persons captured in there. But this is what Professor Frimpong Boateng said. Take a look.
Orders of investigations. Let's respect his orders and move on and see how we can bring this under control.
But do you still stand by all the details in that report?
Oh, yes.
You stand by them?
Yes.
Regardless of the defense by some of the people who have been captured in that report, that what you are saying is not true?
No, see, it wasn't an easy thing writing about some of my colleagues. It wasn't easy, but I had to be brutally honest with the president. And that is why I did what I did, so that I could have said, oh, Mr. President, everything is okay, under control, maybe give me time, we're able to do it, write some wishy-washy thing. and then not achieve anything. But I had to be honest with myself, and knowing the president the way he is, he wanted the truth.
True indeed.
And I did that from my point of view.
The former member of parliament for Manson Kwanta constituency, for instance, whom you said that owns multiple dozens of concessions while he was a member of the Minerals Commission Board, sold it out to some individuals for 200,000 cedis each. He says that he doesn't even own even one concession. He's ready to take you on in court.
He's free to do that. I'm waiting for it.
You're waiting for him to go to court?
Yes.
You have evidence to back the fact that he
I'm waiting for him.
Concessions.
I'm waiting for him.
The presidency describes this report as a mere hearsay.
I haven't heard that from him.
In fact, it was in a letter, communication to the public about your report.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't think. I don't know. I haven't read it. I haven't heard it.
Well, that's Professor Frimpong Boateng there. And the opinion of the Attorney General on this report has generated some disquiet and concern amongst especially the CSOs in the environmental space, who are also asking questions about the commitment really to fight illegal mining in this country. But then Professor Frimpong Boateng in this same report provided evidence of the level of degradation, in fact, the destruction caused our forest cover in this country as a result of illegal mining, named some companies that had the tacit support and assistance of some of the people he mentioned in this report, including the likes of the late Kojo Sir John, and then also a few other persons who were mentioned in there, and the company CG Alaska and so on. These are some of the forest reserves, the satellite images that Professor Frimpong Boateng provided evidence of in the report. About 10 of them. This is the second one. And then this one. You see the fourth as well. And this is the Etiwa forest. This is the Etiwa forest. You see there. All of this is captured in the Professor Frimpong Boateng's report. The evidence of the destruction as a result of illegal mining in this country. Now, aside from this, there are 4 individuals who have also dragged their Akonta mining to the CID of the Ghana Police Service, asking that they should be investigated. This is Akonta mining owned by the Ashanti Regional Chair of the NPP, Chairman Wontumi, Bernard Ntwibo. Now, Adam Senano is one of the 4. That's Adam Senano, Lawyer Martin Kpebu, Engineer Ken Ashigbe, and also the CDD fellow, Kojo Asare. Let's take a look at what they are asking the CID to look into with respect to the Akonta mining specifically. This is what they've gone to the CID to seek, that the activity of the mining company was in contravention of the Minerals and Mining Act 2006 at 703. Remember, the forest that Akonta mining operates in is one of the pictures I just showed you of the level of destruction that Professor Frimpong Boateng captured in the report. He said CID should investigate the people acting as directors of Akonta mining and also let them face the law as they are breaching the law against illegal mining. Now, it is this CID investigation, including this Professor Frimpong Boateng report, that was forwarded to the AG for advice. Adam Senano is the co-chair of the Citizens Movement Against Corruption, one of 4 individuals that went to the CID with this particular case. Is joining us. Mr. Senano, thank you for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. What's the status of the case that you took to the CID about Akonta mining?
From the CID. If you would recollect, first we wrote a letter asking, there were 4 of us, including Martin Kpebu, asking the police to act on the reports. After a couple of weeks of not hearing anything, we went to find out, and we were told that no formal complaint had been lodged. We had to fill their forms. So we went back on a Monday, filled those forms, engaged at the highest level of CID, but I've heard nothing. So just a week ago, I was thinking I should call Martin. Let's go and find out what is going on. It's several months later, no action, no response. So absolutely no clue what has become of our formally filed complaint.
See, so when you filed the case, did the CID get back to you specifically with any follow-up questions or clarifications and maybe further and better particulars on what you were seeking them to do?
No, on the day of, when we went and we were told that our letter was not sufficient, because we had written a formal letter saying that the evidence was out there and referencing the minister's comments, both the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources and then the, I've forgotten which institution it was that had also said that they didn't have a permit to do what they had done. And to say that, well, if the minister has spoken and the institutions are all saying that this should not have happened, what is the police doing about it? Because you don't want to leave a sense that impunity is allowed. Nobody really bothers whether you can see that a crime has been committed. And they said we needed to file a formal complaint. So beyond the letter, having waited, I think must have been at least some 6 weeks, no response. Went there formally, we're told you have to fill the forms, went back and complained on behalf of the people of Ghana. We haven't heard anything.
I see. I'm sure you've also read the AG's advice to the CID on this Professor Cormey Boateng 36-page report, and the fact that it says there's not enough evidence to even make a case or prosecute the persons who are in government who have been captured in this report. That must come to you as a concern, is it not?
Oh, yes, it is. The thing is that it is sufficient for a citizen to raise the issues. It is now for our investigative bodies to do the research. There's a gap there. There's a lacuna when you think through it. Are they saying that they have followed up with all the other names and events and issues he highlighted in his 36 pages? Because it seems to me like they focus on Professor Frimpong Boateng alone to the exclusion of all the other clues. But that's not how it's supposed to be done. So it's very concerning. There appears to be a serious gap. It's important that citizens, responsible citizens, report things and concerns they have. And it's important that the public servants, those who are to serve the public by doing the research, do that and get back to us. It is not sufficient for anyone to say that they found no evidence. Are they saying that they followed all the clues? That part of the story has not come out very clearly in this particular report.
Mr. Ano, I appreciate your time. Well, thank you very much for joining us here on Ghana Tonight, and especially for you CSOs, from what we are gleaning is a number of you are also putting a petition together to submit to Parliament on Professor Frimpong Boateng's report as well, beyond what the AG has said. We'll see what happens as well in this regard. Thank you very much. Edem Senano is the co-chair of the Citizens Movement Against Corruption, one of 4 individuals who have petitioned the CID on Akunta mining's operations in the Forest Reserve in the Ashanti region, and then also an aspect of the Professor Frimpong Boateng report as well. Coming up next, we have also been monitoring closely, nosing around for insider information as the parliamentary committee probing the alleged plot to oust the IGP resumes sitting in camera. We have some updates for you on this matter. Very, very interesting developments with some security analysts who have also been raising fundamental questions about the conduct of the members of this ad hoc committee. Stay with us. We'll be back shortly after this quick break.
PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal le Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.